The famous inventor Ben Wa once said, "Wash after use." A very common question amongst beginners to the radio world is, can my FRS radio talk with my GMRS radio? Now, if you ask this question in an online forum, you're likely to get an answer like,
FRS radios are just toys. Why would you bother?
Or,
if you don't know the answer to that, you should take the radio back and get a refund.
Of course, those comments always begin with the line, "I've been a ham radio operator for 20 years. That's how we know that they're an expert. Those are the wonderful ambassadors to the ham radio world, welcoming the beginners. Well, you will not find that kind of assholiness here. You will, however, find a whole different type of assholery. This is an FRS radio. It has a fixed antenna, fixed meaning that you cannot remove it, so that you cannot attach an external or bigger antenna to it. It transmits at a maximum of 2 watts. You can get them at Walmart for about $20, and anybody can use an FRS radio, no license required. This is a GMRS radio. This one just happens to be the KG-UV9G-X. It's another one of those radios that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but I can show it to you. A GMRS radio has a removable antenna so that you can attach a larger antenna or put an antenna on the roof and connect it to the radio. It can transmit at up to 50 watts, although most handhelds only go up to 5 watts, but on GMRS you may transmit at up to 50 watts on most channels. Anyone can also use a GMRS radio, but to transmit, you do need a GMRS license. You do not need a license to buy the radio. You do not need a license to listen to the radio. But if you want to talk on it and press this button on the side, the FCC says thou must have a GMRS license. So are GMRS radios and FRS radios compatible? And do they use the same channels? Are the channels on this radio the same as the channels on this radio? And can they talk to each other? The short answer is yes. If that's all you wanted to know, and if you're in some sort of big rush to go and watch dash cam videos of car crashes, you are excused. But if you want to actually learn something and become a better human being, then stick around for another minute or two for the slightly more complicated version of the answer. All FRS radios and GMRS radios manufactured since or after the year 2017 share and use the same channel numbers. Most made before the year 2017 also use and share the same channels, but not all of them. But most mobile GMRS radios, so those are the larger ones that you install in your car, most of those radios cannot transmit on channels 8 through 14. They can receive, but they are not allowed to transmit. Some radios, such as Midland brand radios, don't even have those channels. They skip from channel 7 up to channel 15. So on those radios, you can't even listen to channels 8 through 14. The reason for this is because the FCC says so. That's your government hard at work protecting you from all the dangers of transmitting on a mobile radio on GMRS channels 8 through 14. Another point of frustration for someone that wants to talk on a GMRS radio to an FRS radio is that many FRS radios or GMRS radios from certain brands come with privacy tones, also sometimes called subchannels. Us radio dorks call those CTCS tones or DPL or DCS tones. It doesn't matter. They're all the same thing. And contrary to what many internet experts will tell you, those tones, those codes, those subchannels, whatever you call them, do not offer any privacy in any way. But those tones, subchannels, codes, whatever you call them, will prevent one radio from hearing another radio when it's transmitting if it has those tones or codes or subchannels, whatever you call them. If one radio has the tones and codes, subchannels, and the other radio doesn't, then the radio that has the tones and codes and subchannels programmed will not hear the other radio. So you won't hear each other unless you either remove the tones and codes or subchannels from one radio or program your other radio with the same tones and codes and subchannels. This has caused much confusion for beginners trying to get two radios to talk. You can hear on one, you can't hear on the other. That's because one has codes or tones or subchannels and the other one doesn't. Simply removing the tones or codes from one radio or programming or adding the tones or codes to the other radio so that they match is all you need to do. So other than those small caviars, any FRS radio can talk to any GMRS radio. If you have questions that are actually on topic and related to this video, leave a comment below.